Today, we start our episode with a very special guest whose main focus is to produce quality content to educate the market, to educate the investors, as well as to educate fellow real estate brokers. Now, I don't think it's going to be fair for me to say such words about him, but I will let you be the judge based on everything that you're going to hear from him today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me, Ryan Obeid.
Thank
Hello,
you so
Ryan.
much. Hello, brother.
Welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you.
My pleasure.
Honestly, I'm a huge fan. I've been watching most of your content that's going out recently, and all I can see is something I can learn. All I can see is something that I can say, okay, this is something I want to adapt. This is something that I want to start doing. And it's very rare these days when you see real estate brokers that are actually putting valuable content to the market, sharing it for free. Everybody's saying, no, I'm going to start charging people for it. And that's basically just monetizing without actually providing value. But with you, honestly, I think it's amazing. Guys, I'm going to leave the link for all his social media channels down below. Please make sure to check it out and follow him. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed with the type of content that you're going to get.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Ryan, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Ryan?
Right. So thanks again for the introduction. Like
You're
you said, we're here to educate, get educated, of course.
Exactly.
That's why we're here, definitely. So a bit about Ryan, background.
Yes, please.
What I studied, let's start there. Not
Yeah.
to go
Sure,
more to the past.
sure.
Architecture student, interior architect student.
Wow.
Started with working in hospitality. We grew to a big team in Lebanon. We had our own club.
Okay.
And resto pub on a rooftop. So shout out to all the guys I used to work with
Nice.
as partners.
Nice.
Everyone, Peter, Este, Mido, Hassan Awada. Just want to have a shout
Of
out because this is my
course.
past,
Of
Wael
course.
Bouzerdain, and not to forget anyone. Yes, and Johnny Saadi, of course.
You're still in touch with those guys?
Yeah, they're like my brothers, of course.
Nice. And you see them often?
I don't see them often unless I'm in Lebanon. So this was
Okay.
back in the days.
All right.
But
okay.
7 years or 6 years working together, so it shaped a big part of who I am today.
Of course.
And how much I learned in business.
Of course.
And of course, moving forward after COVID, this is when I got introduced to Realestate
Okay.
and a multinational company, international company actually, which is
Nice.
Ray White. Also, shout out to the person that I learned a lot from Realestate, got introduced to the business, Roy Saar. Huge respect to. Of course, hand in hand, I learned a lot from him. The real proper business in 2019.
2019.
So this is 6 years ago. This is
Yeah.
when I started Realestate.
That was here in Dubai or
In Lebanon, and we used to work for Dubai. So Ray White is an international company, the biggest in Australia
Okay.
and New Zealand in the
All right.
region. Biggest in
Okay.
Australia. It's like what to compare with in USA. Coldwell Banker, if you want, in the
Okay,
USA.
yeah.
Ray White is the same size if you want in Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
Roy Saar took this franchisee, opened it in the Middle East, Dubai, Lebanon, Saudi, Qatar, and Cyprus, and I think Cyprus as well.
Okay.
So in the region. So we used to work on multi-cities like Dubai, Lebanon. It's a big company with international standards, so it's not about Lebanese market only.
And you started selling which markets?
Lebanon and Dubai.
To which audience?
To Lebanese people in Lebanon, of course.
Okay.
This is what we're going to talk about later. In
Of
Lebanon,
course.
it's mainly Lebanese people buying in Lebanon. That's what makes it
Yes.
different from Dubai.
Yes.
Or Lebanese expats. And in Dubai, Lebanese people that are interested in Dubai or other nationalities, if we reach them, back
Of
when I was in
course.
Lebanon.
Yeah.
So that's why I learned about the diverse, if you want, real estate market with this person, with this company, which I learned a lot from and I grew there. And that's it basically.
So if it was one lesson that you learned from working there that you still remember and work with till now, what would that lesson be?
One lesson in Lebanon. First of all, it was a culture shock for me from nightlife and hospitality to real estate.
Okay.
On so many levels. Like I used to wake up at night, sleep during the day.
Yeah.
So
I know
the
how it
small,
feels.
the small details. I used to live the opposite of the people.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of energy drainage, and of course, we had successful years. We made money. We had a successful business, but it was a culture shock. Then I understood that this is the healthy lifestyle I should be working on.
Exactly.
Then what I learned is that this is what I'm born to do: to speak with people, to learn. I'm a people's person, not a nightlife person. I understood more about myself during this, if you want, 3 years learning stage.
Yeah.
Definitely grew a lot, and basically I love adding value to people, and I can add more value in real estate and consultation than in hospitality and nightlife.
Exactly.
This is my take.
And what was the main reason you decided to switch from hospitality to real estate?
So the main reason, I'll be honest, was COVID.
Okay.
So during COVID, every hospitality outlet, if you want, shut down.
Everything, true. Yeah.
Everything shut down. Restaurants, clubs, pubs,
Yes.
beaches. So we had to shut down. I was contemplating, thinking that even in that stage, I was thinking of changing my lifestyle. You can't change your lifestyle and stay with the same old habits you have.
Exactly.
Going to the club and
100%.
staying till late, obviously for business reasons. So contemplating, brainstorming, and a guy named Bernard Asfour, he was a client of mine in our club, in our rooftop restaurant lounge. He told me, Ryan, why don't you join us in our company in real estate? I told him we have our own thing, which is successful. And he threw it out the way. So I thought about it. Then, we stayed closed for 3 months, which he didn't expect.
Okay.
The whole country in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Closed and brainstorming, thinking, getting back to better habits, better eating habits, training. Then I said I should give it a try.
Okay.
So spoke to Bernard Asfour again. He was with Louai back in the days and the client, as I told you, so,
All right.
which became a friend.
Yeah.
Told him, let me give it a shot. Let me sit down with someone. Although in the back of my mind, we're going to still run our thing after COVID finishes.
So you wanted to do it like a temporary job? Okay.
Like a side business.
Got you. Okay.
For example, to just keep on rolling the income and keep on succeeding.
We all had to survive one way or another, honestly. Yes, 100%.
It was a big hit. Very big hit.
Of course.
You shut down, no more income. And in nightlife, you have the habit of spending, then remaking it, then spending.
Exactly.
Sometimes you see it in agents as well.
Exactly.
So sat down with Roy at the moment. I think he had let go of a sales manager back at that time.
Okay.
So he sat with me personally by mistake. Exactly. So you should sit with the HR or the sales manager back at the time. So I sat with the chairman of Realestate in Lebanon and Dubai and in the Middle East, which he sold the franchise. I sat down with him directly. We immediately clicked and obviously became friends later in the days. And I joined them. So I started. It was, of course, you feel like you're the king in your industry before in the club and the hospitality and the management. You feel like you're the king. Then you're starting fresh as a beginner or a noob in a new industry.
Did you feel that you downgraded?
At first, yeah.
Deep inside, were you even ashamed to tell people, I'm actually working as a broker now? Did you go through that phase?
Maybe, because look, we weren't well connected back at that time in COVID.
Yeah.
I was doing this thing, if you want, under the table, starting off interview. I don't know if I'm gonna proceed with it or no.
Yeah.
But again, the relationship with Roy and the company and the environment and the level of standards they had, again, I feel like, yes, I downgraded internally. My ego got hit, if you want, from being the king in our space to being a noob inside the new company or the group.
Gotcha.
But of course, I knew what I had and the skills I have. Obviously, running a similar business. It's also a people's business, but different aspect. I knew what I had. Then I started a month or so. I had my successful deal.
Wow.
Then I think in the first year I became rookie of the company, rookie of the year. Then the second year I became a top agent. Second year and third year and fourth year I became top agent of Realestate.
Wow.
Yeah, of Realestate, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly in Lebanon as well, because it's one of the biggest companies in Lebanon.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
Yeah, it was very quick. So I understood from the results that I'm born to do something similar, if not only real estate.
And when did you move to Dubai?
I moved to Dubai 2.5 years ago, after of course selling Dubai from Lebanon with Realestate.
You were selling Dubai from there?
Yeah, they have an office here.
Okay, and which projects were you selling?
We used to work. I didn't have the same understanding of Dubai as I have now, or when I came here, or the developers. Okay. But we did the basic knowledge.
Please tell me more about this. Now let's take a pause here.
Yeah.
What was your understanding of Dubai and the real estate market when you were in Lebanon compared to after you came and got to understand everything for yourself?
Right. So I always say you're always focused on where you are now, physically. Your brain is there. So we used to sell Dubai, but I'm more focused on Lebanon, thinking there's more opportunities in Lebanon. I know there's opportunities here, but I see more exposure in Lebanon. Okay. So I feel like there's more opportunities. I didn't understand the windows to make proper money, such as I see now, until I came here and saw it. We used to work with Damak, with Emar, with Ellington. I mean, Roy signed, if you want, channel partners with every developer.
Wow.
Yeah, if not the small ones.
Okay.
He has an office here with someone called Shadi, also Lebanese.
Okay.
He owns the office here. Shadi owns the office here and manages it.
Okay.
And they sell Dubai since I think I think it's 8 years or 9 years if I'm not mistaken. So they had operated here a long time ago. I learned about Dubai obviously and came here after 2.5 years. Now, why I didn't join Ray White? I had someone which is a very close friend and like a big brother, AJ. Anthony Abu Jawdi,
Yes.
known as AJ.
Of course, he's very well known.
Yeah, which he knew how I worked in Lebanon. At that time, I reached the top of my company. I was, of course, performing very well.
Exactly. You're telling me top agent for
Yeah.
3 years straight, and then
Exactly.
you decided to leave.
Yes. So,
Okay.
again, top agent in Lebanon is different from a top agent in Dubai, numbers-wise, exposure-wise. So, your top year in Lebanon cannot be compared to your top year in Dubai.
Of course. Of course.
At all. At
Of
all.
course.
You can do X5, X10.
Easily.
If you can imagine, yeah,
Wow.
easily.
Wow.
So at a certain stage, I felt like, okay, I grew a lot. Where can I reach more? There's a market cap in Lebanon. Who's buying in Lebanon? Again, Lebanese expats. There's a market cap. There's ups and downs in Lebanon depending on the Lebanese purchase power. Here it's different.
Exactly.
Here, there's no one nationality with the purchase power. There's plenty. It's
Exactly.
multinational.
True.
It's a melting pot.
True.
So I reached a certain cap, I felt personally. So of course, there's a lot of brokers still growing in Lebanon and making more money, but I feel I reached a certain threshold that I cannot exceed unless I outgrew the market.
Got you.
So I thought, where next? Dubai.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, exactly. Nowhere else.
See,
right?
when you feel that you're the biggest fish in the pond, you need to go to a bigger pond.
Exactly.
You know?
Possibly not the
100%.
biggest fish, but I reached, yeah, one of
I
the
would
big,
say one of the biggest.
one of the big
yes.
fishes.
Yes, definitely.
In the market, definitely.
Okay.
In presence in the areas I was working on, because they were ultra luxury areas like Rabi, Biyad, Tailib, for anyone who knows Lebanon.
Okay.
And the luxury Metan, if you want, the luxury areas of Lebanon. So yeah, I think I reached a size of a big fish in that pond. It's time to begin again how I started small in
From
real estate,
scratch,
from
again.
hospitality
Yeah.
to go to a bigger market.
And how did you find Dubai? So which company did you start with, and how was the beginning of Ryan in Dubai?
Right. So I directly spoke to AJ when the idea came up.
Yeah.
AJ was in Provident. He was actually a partner in Provident.
Okay.
I think now some things changed,
Okay.
which he might have announced on his page.
Yes, I've seen the
Yeah.
latest news. He's announced that video with him with the car behind him and say something coming soon. Yeah.
A new announcement for
Yeah.
him. But at that time, he was a partner, a top broker, and also a partner with Louai in another holiday
Okay.
short-term rentals company, which is Prime Stay. At that time, also some things might have changed, but at that time. So I spoke to him. He knows how I work. He knows the level of professionalism I had in Lebanon, and he knows my potential. He even referred a couple of clients before.
Nice.
So yeah, when I came, I thought I should join Provident. It was in Dubai. Provident is bigger than Ray White, numbers-wise, company-wise, in
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Of course, internationally, Ray White is much bigger. But in Dubai, I want to learn with the big, if you want, with the big players, with the big ballers. So, AJ introduced me to the HR team. I came, had an interview, lovely environment, loved the office instantly. I felt the energy, high energy office. Also met Louai, one of the best people I've ever met as well.
Wow.
Yes, like as I spoke about Troy,
Yeah.
which I learned real estate from.
Mm-hmm.
Louai is one of the big pillars in my life as well, from my expansion in Dubai to where I work in. Obviously, as well AJ, which
Yeah.
played a big role in a life-changing expansion to Dubai.
Of course.
Or move to Dubai.
Of course.
So yeah, these key people, of course, played a big role in my growth and my success, which I call success, of course.
I would call it success.
Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
Alhamdulillah. of course.
Alhamdulillah. And what were the challenges that you faced?
So a challenge, in my opinion, was because I thought I knew everything about Dubai's real estate before I came. I knew, if you want, 30 or 40%. I had the next 60 or 70% to learn on ground.
Okay.
Second thing, again, I'm starting as a very small fish here in Dubai.
Yeah.
Numbers-wise, knowledge-wise, experience-wise in the city. Although I'm not against an agent that has 6 months or 7 months experience in a city or country to take his advice on consultation.
Of course.
If he has a background of 5 or 6 years or 4 years experience in another city. It's very similar. You just have to know if you want, technicals of every city, how it works, the history, what it went through, and you'll be back at it
Exactly.
in no time.
Exactly. 100%.
So the challenge was learning more about Dubai, understanding the areas more as a resident living here, and basically just learning before I started going online and having a presence.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Definitely, so immediate success with Provident in the company, in their training. I didn't need training in negotiations and consultation, of course. I needed training about Dubai, about if you want the system they work on, the CRM, how things work, the legal stuff that I need to know, which I had, if you want, 80% knowledge about when I was in Lebanon, but now I'm here.
So just operations, that's what you needed training on.
Technicals.
Okay.
And that was the challenge, basically.
How long did it take you to close your first deal at Provident?
3 months. Which I thought would be earlier.
Okay.
Because, you know, I came here feeling like a king from Lebanon, top performer.
Yeah.
How long would it take? I came in, I thought like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll finish training, get my first client, sit with him and close it.
That's it.
No, it took 3 months. But I did something wrong, which I encourage other agents not to do. I didn't do rentals and I didn't work on small tickets coming from a luxury sector in Lebanon. Ultra luxury. I'm working on plots, villas and buildings.
Yes.
And very large apartments. You know, in Lebanon, we don't have 1 and 2 beds.
Exactly.
So I thought this is my specialty, this is my niche. I shall continue.
Let me stay focused there.
I wasn't wrong about it myself, but if another agent wants to start out and he doesn't have savings, obviously I had good savings coming from this career in Lebanon.
Of course. You were set. Yeah, you were set.
I was good.
Okay.
Not for the 6 months, not for the 7 months. I was good.
Exactly.
I can handle it.
Okay.
So, so 3 months in.
Wow.
Maybe for another agent, it's too much to close a deal without
agents
salary.
can't survive that long,
Exactly,
honestly.
which I understand.
100%.
3 months, I spent a lot of money without
making any
for my pocket, which is challenging.
Of course.
Of course, then 3 months.
What was your first deal in Dubai?
Opal Gardens Villa.
Nice.
Yeah, Nakhil.
Nice. How much
I
was that?
focusing. Then after it, I closed another townhouse. Opal Gardens Villa was 9.2 million.
Wow, that's a very good first deal.
Yeah, very good first deal.
Wow.
That's why it compensated for the 3
Bless
months.
you,
Then
definitely.
another townhouse in corner townhouse in Opal Gardens.
Nice.
Around 6 million. And the bolt kept
And
rolling.
then it started after that.
Big deals for the first deals, which
Of course. No, it usually takes one hit and then everything just comes
it
through.
started rolling, truly.
Exactly.
After the 3 months, up until now, the ball haven't stopped rolling, of course, with dedication. And
Throughout your career, have you ever reached a still point? Like, have you ever reached a point where you just stopped closing, you were facing a lot of pressure, or maybe things stopped rolling your way?
No, to be honest.
Oh, God bless you. Okay.
Yes, and first 2 weeks, 3 weeks in Lebanon, I closed. Then the ball kept rolling. Of course, this is a blessing from God and my persistence. So I don't stop working. Maybe people you have interviewed, like maybe Bardia knows.
Yeah.
And possibly Kamel knows. And all the mutual friends know I don't stop working. I never stop working. So the persistence cannot hit a stagnant stage.
100%.
So I've never hit, if you want, a pause or an ice.
So it was just the initial 3 months in the
initial
beginning.
3 months in Dubai, which I don't consider it as a slow start.
No,
I was
just a
learning a lot.
phase. Yeah,
learning
100%.
a lot,
100%.
taking it in, no rush.
100%.
Haven't ever pushed a client or pressured a client to pay my rental or pay my
good.
Exactly.
Honestly good.
or put food on my table. Haven't ever pushed
most of the clients I'm speaking to, like the minute I'm speaking to them quietly and I'm like, okay, let's get in touch again in a week and talk to you, they tell me, oh my God, thank God you're not one of those agents calling me and saying, we need to close now, send me money now, send me money now.
Exactly.
Which really doesn't actually work.
Doesn't
on
work.
Clients.
Simply, it doesn't work.
So from your perspective, based on the psychology of an investor, how would an investor like to be treated in order for him to feel safe and secure with you?
To answer what you said, actually, clients smell the desperation. They smell it when you talk, they smell it when you pitch the project, especially if you're sitting with them, they smell the desperation.
Yeah.
After they smell it, everything you say doesn't make sense or doesn't add value anymore.
Yeah.
It's coming from desperation, so it's not adding value. If he smells desperation, everything else you said afterwards doesn't make sense anymore. I think the key point to making an investor comfortable is for him to know that you heard and understood, firstly, before adding any value, before starting pitching projects or consulting, the first stage for him to be comfortable is knowing that he's understood. I think this is the deepest hunger of a human soul.
Yes.
Is to be understood and to feel important.
100%.
So same applies on an investor. If you listen to him, you understood what he said, and you made him feel important, you satisfied his deepest hunger, then everything comes afterwards. When you understand and you know how to add value, you understand his perspective, his plan, his purpose, and you start adding value accordingly. I think
but if you start giving them time and if you start giving them space now, considering Dubai market, they're approached by another 50 to 60 different agents. So how do you make sure that you give him space but still don't lose him?
Yeah, I think the agent and the client shall align from the start.
Okay.
Do you need an excellent entry in a very critical timing to enter now, and for example, a very hot project to make an how do you want to say? So they're aligning about if he wants to make the move so quickly to make the most profits from a specific entry, or he needs some time to understand the market. If they're aligning, and the if you want, the client is excited to enter now and is a hot, if you want, prospect, wants to make the most amount of money in this certain project at this certain time, the push is not, I think, annoying to the investor. You can push him, on the right spots, and when he understood that you're not coming from desperation.
Exactly.
If the client is just exploring the market, looking at options, understanding Dubai a little bit, you're aligning with the client, you understand that it's not time to push him, give him this 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, or 3 months if he needs, then push him when it's the time. Push him for his own benefit again.
Exactly.
But if you're aligned that he needs to make a move now, for example, move for his funds to disregard taxation in his country, he has the money here, he has to make a move now, or if it's a cancellation unit in a certain project and you all align, you should push him. After he understands it's not from desperation.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, because I personally have faced the problem several times, and I want to know how you would deal with it as an expert in your field, of course. Now, some clients, you speak to them, you explain to them the entire project, you discuss the investment strategy, when is the entry, if there's an exit, or if it's going to be a long-term rental for a course of 10 years and then to resell. Every client has their own strategy.
Right.
But before making a purchase decision, usually what they do is that they're confirmed, yes, we're in 100%, but the day that comes where they have to make the payments, they always get cold feet. And they just say, okay, let me check other options. Okay, are there any other options available? How do you deal with a client who acts this way?
Yeah, which is understandable, and it happens to all of us, actually, the cold feet
Yes.
client. Look, again, back to understanding. I think if he understands, if he feels that you understand him and his cold feet, and you're, again, getting in touch to add more value or to answer any unanswered questions that he had earlier, I think you can reach a stage to convert his fear into more trust and to a further step. And if he feels that he needs more time, I think no need for further pushing. But I think answering the unanswered questions and feeling that he understood you.
That's the most important
thing. Or
him
feeling that you understood him. So I wouldn't push the client with cold feet. I would, back again, answer any unanswered questions and convert this fear into trust again.
Got you.
And possibly, and if the client sees that he missed an opportunity because of his cold feet first time, he will learn on the second stage.
Exactly.
No need to bombard his head that the units are getting sold or this front is getting sold.
You cannot convince him, even if it's for his own benefit.
He will learn from the first step.
Exactly.
Truly, Dubai will sell out. Certain developers will sell out on the launch.
100%.
If the client didn't understand it on the first experience, he will on the second one.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm actually noticing in the market these days, a lot of clients are reselling properties that has just been handed over. And they are selling at a loss. And this is due to agents who sold them these projects 3 or 4 years ago, telling them you can sell it on handover for 100% profit margin.
It's true.
But then, because there's a massive demand, because there's a massive supply, but there is no demand, these clients are forced to sell at a low price.
True.
Which is something that I don't understand. So I want to give you an example, and I want you to let me know what you think. For example, there's a new project that is being built in Dubai right now, which consists of 3,300 apartments. Now, out of which there is 2,400 studio apartments. And all the agents are selling it. They're saying this is the best investment opportunity. The location is great. The developer is great. You have to buy there. But nobody is telling the investor that this is actually a very risky investment.
True.
Because by the time this project is handed over, if you want to sell at a profit margin, there's another 2,399.
1,999.
Thank you. Even if you're doing it for rental. Okay, I understand. If it's for personal use, this is going to be amazing. You're going to have everything that you wished for. But you're still going to face difficulties going up and down the elevators, parking,
Exactly.
in and out. It's still a huge thing. But all the brokers are basically pushing it and telling people this is one of the best investments that you can make. What's your input on that?
So yeah, I agree 100% with what you said. And I think I see a lot of videos on social media, agents bashing developers. This is a bad developer, this is a bad developer, which is not the case. The developer is handing over what he promised.
Exactly.
He promised 3,000 units with these amenities. And in most cases, he delivers.
Yeah.
What we need to bash is the agents that mislead the clients.
Exactly.
So whoever the developer is, if the client did not make money, at least the developer promised a townhouse 3-bed middle and a townhouse 4-bed corner with this plot, and he gave
delivered exactly as per the
Who
specifications.
misled you? The agent. Yeah. The agent told you buy now and I'll sell it for you in 6 months double the price, because I get a lot of DMs from distressed sellers.
Yeah.
More than leads, by the way, on my Instagram. Please, Ryan, help me sell my units in X project.
Okay.
Why? Who told you to purchase this property, and who told you you can exit with this profit? X agent from this company told me.
Exactly.
So did the developer promise you such a promise? No, he promised you this much square feet in this project with this amenities in this location, and he will hand over.
Exactly.
Obviously now there's a lot of regulations from the Dubai Land Department for developers. They will hand over what they promised.
Yes.
Who overpromised is the agent.
Yeah.
So the agent is misleading.
Of course, they promised a certain capital appreciation. They promised a certain rental income. They promised a certain demand for their properties, but it's not actually
100%. So I would say, for the agents bashing the developers, shift your bashing to the agents, because the developers are delivering what they promised. The agents are misinforming, misleading the clients out of desperation, out of greed, whatever you want to call it. But it's the agent, not the developer.
100%.
With every developer, I've seen some agents bash certain developers. I've seen people making a lot of money in townhouses, for example, in X project in Dubai Land with lagoons inside it.
Oh, yes.
You know what project it is? They bashed this developer and people made tons of money. They doubled their prices on 4 and 5 bed corner. Now the agents know what I'm talking about. 5 bed corner units. They doubled their money, right? If you exited 2 years ago because the agent promised you to sell by double, you're lost because you worked with the wrong agent.
Exactly.
But if you're exiting now, you're making proper money. Whoever the developer is, the right entry and the right exit, you can
100%
make money, whoever the developer
How do
is.
you think an investor can make sure that he's working with an agent who's knowledgeable, who's giving him value, and who's actually careful about making him a successful and a profitable investment?
I think you can never be too sure unless you do your due diligence. So, because if you're only listening to the agent, some of them are excellent salespeople. They can sell him the dream that they're the best agent to work with, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do your due diligence, you cannot know what aligns with what the agent says.
Okay.
So he's telling you this area will make this much money. Obviously, if he's a good salesperson, he will convince you.
Oh, yeah.
He will tell you his company will turn out to be big.
Yeah.
He will tell you his experience. He has 3 years experience. It's enough for you. Or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years. If you don't do your due diligence, Mr. Investor, you cannot know what aligns with what the agent is saying, especially if he's a good salesperson and he knows how to sell himself.
So can you please tell the investors what's the due diligence that they must do?
Right. So like in every country, in every city in the world, your due diligence is understanding the history of the area, how it grew, the cycles it has for real estate. In Dubai, specifically developers, because unlike any other city in the world, for example, in any other city like London, New York, you don't really care about the developer as much as you do for the contractor and the actual quality of the building, etc. No, in Dubai, brands do have a big impact because Dubai is all about brands. You see a lady walking her dog with a Louis Vuitton leash.
Exactly.
It's all about brands.
Exactly.
Your car plate, your brands. This is Dubai. So developers are brands. Make your due diligence about the brands, their history, what they've built, what's the appreciation projection on all their projects from 10 years ago up till now. What are the hot areas? Usually in every city, there are government injected areas, waterfront areas, and close to hotspots. If you want, make your due diligence. Where are these areas in Dubai? Again, the developers. And based on that, you can tell if the price per square feet makes sense, if the project truly has this potential like the agent says. And I think this is your due diligence, basically. Understand the city, understand the developers, understand the area of the price per square feet makes sense, and understand the difficulties you might face and the ups and downs you might face, and make a plan towards it. And always, real estate is not stocks, it's not crypto.
Exactly.
It's a long-term game. Your due diligence should also include having a plan for 3 years is even short, but 3 years minimum to 5 years. This is the, if you want, ideal plan, and 10 years above, this is real estate investment. I think this is the due diligence. And after you do all this homework, you can tell if the agent is, if you want, truthful,
exactly,
and really experienced, and you can align with what he's saying.
Exactly, 100%.
Otherwise, you can never tell. He can't convince you.
100%.
I've seen it.
Okay, now I want to ask you regarding certain locations in Dubai. For example, we all know that waterfront properties are one of the safest properties that will always keep a high value. However, recently we've been seeing a lot of distressed deals in a waterfront community, and all the investors are trying to sell the properties at actually original price or even below original price. Why do you think this is happening?
I think this is happening because of the topic we just mentioned, the over-promising of the agents. If they hold the property now, until the right time, they will exit with profits. It's that simple. It's a waterfront property, and I know the developers on waterfront plots. It's either governmental developers, all plots sold by governmental developers, which we saw introduced in Dubai land.
Exactly.
Nakheel sold their plots to private developers on G+10, G+12 buildings, which will hold value. But if you're exiting now, it's because obviously you were overpromised by an agent. Buy now, I'll sell after 6 months. This is not stocks.
Exactly.
So I think this is the only reason. There's no other reason for you to lose money on waterfront project or waterfront property in Dubai. There's no other reason except you miscalculating your entry and exit because of an agent advice, false agent.
100%.
No other
100%. Reason. No, I personally believe that in Dubai, there is absolutely no way you can lose investing in real estate. As long as you understand the cycle needed and how long you should hold on to that investment,
100%.
there is no way you're going to lose.
100%. You don't lose until you sell.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which if you sell at the right time, you will make money.
True. 100%.
Or hold the property value.
Yes. Okay, another topic I want to discuss with you is Dubai Islands. Now, Dubai Islands is an amazing project. However, I do feel that the fact that it doesn't belong to a master developer and you have more than 30 different developers building in there, that it might lose its value on the long term once actually everything is delivered. What is your input on that?
So yes, I agree with you that there's a concern that it's a mixed developer island. Although there's island A, B, C, and D, I think only island A is mixed developer.
Yes.
So this island, I have this concern like you have. The mixed developer will create mixed facades, mixed infrastructure, mixed amenities, mixed price per square feet, which is chaotic for the resale market and for the rental market. On the other hand, I've seen the projects introduced, the price per square feet still makes sense, and the caliber of the developers are good. So we've seen, obviously not the biggest developers in Dubai Islands, but some of the very good private developers in the area. So this is one. Again, it's an island. It will hold value. The price per square feet is decent. Of course, I would recommend something with a master developer. One scheme for the infrastructure, one scheme for the price per square feet. We have a unified price per square feet, which is the most important in investing in real estate.
Yes.
Unified rental margin, if you want. Same feel, same vibe of the places, same vibe of the amenities, etc. I would recommend more. This will create a more stable resale market or rental market.
Absolutely.
But I don't think it's bad because I think what has been introduced in Dubai Island was pretty decent and fairly priced, except some.
But for example, in Dubai Islands right now, you can find off-plan projects, of course. You can find developers that are selling a one-bedroom apartment for almost 1.5 million dirhams, while you can see another developers who are selling it for almost 3 million dirhams.
Yeah,
how do you explain that?
I think the
gap?
price per square feet is around 1,900 up to 2,700, 2,800, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
This is the last time I checked on Dubai Islands.
Exactly.
So yeah, there is an influx. I think also the proximity to the seafront plays a big role. Like some developers have the true waterfront plots, and some of them have the inside of the community.
Of course.
They're all on an island, obviously, but definitely the sea facing hold more value.
Different than the fish market, which is on the opposite side,
Exactly,
of course.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think this plays a big role. Second role is if the developer has truly put a fair value to their property, I think it's the quality, the brand name, like Ellington has introduced in Dubai.
Yes,
Their brand name plays a big role, their quality obviously, and they are seafront. So I think that's why they have an edge to slightly overprice their price per square feet more than the other developers, although I'm not saying it's the best entry.
I know.
But I understand their edge on other developers.
So would you say that the brand name is more dominating towards the pricing rather than the amenities provided within the building?
Yeah, if I were to compare amenities with brand name, everyone has amenities now. They're competing with amenities.
Yeah, exactly.
If one has a paddle court, the other has two paddle courts. If one has a pool, the other has a pool on the podium and a pool on the 18th floor.
That's true.
So amenities, I think they're in a competing game, which is good for the end user.
Of course.
I think it's good for us to enjoy it.
It's a healthy competition, yeah.
It's a healthy competition. More amenities. You don't have to exit your building to train, swim, play paddle, etc. But I think truly for the capital appreciation, it's not the amenities. Every building has amenities from the least caliber developer to the highest caliber developer. All of them have amenities. The brand plays a bigger role based on experience and history to inject more money into your property. The brand. Like Emar, Nakhil, Miras, Expo, Al Wasl, all these big developers, H&H, it's the brand name, not the amenities.
Yes, 100%.
They truly appreciate your product.
What do you think about the airline being passing right over Dubai Island, for example?
Yeah, interesting topic, because some people think that the airlines will completely shift towards Dubai South, Al Maktoum Airport, the new airport announced. So, which makes it a safe haven for people to live there, which I think is not true and hasn't officially been launched.
Exactly.
Announced, sorry. And I do a lot of research. A lot.
I know.
Nothing says that the airport will close, will shut down. Actually, I think they're going to be splitting the airlines. For example, Emirates has Terminal 3 in DXB International Airport. They might shift later when the Al Maktoum Airport fully operates. They might shift, but it's not also announced. And some domestic flights will also operate from the DXB International Airport. But up until now, nothing says the airport will close. So to answer your question, it's interesting to see that this Dubai Island's a touristic place on the beach, a lot of resorts, hotels, excellent place to invest in certain areas, but the airplanes will still pass over it.
Every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think...
Every 5 minutes.
I think if this is an objection, there's no way to handle it, right? Yes, the airplane will pass by.
Yeah.
But have a look at the areas surrounding the airport, like Mirdif, like... if you want Nikki Beach, it's also very close to Dubai Islands.
Yes.
And the other areas next to the airport and in other cities of the world. We know a lot that are close to the airport with a huge demand on the properties.
But see, for investors that are investing $1 million and above, for them to purchase a property where every 5 minutes there's an airplane going on top and they can hear the sound and it's kind of disturbing, don't you think this might push investors away?
I think it might push end users away and investors that are thinking about end users later. But if you're investing, I've, in my opinion, go for smaller properties in these areas because it's more of a touristic attraction.
Exactly.
Not bigger units, for the simple reason the airplanes will pass over it. As an investor, don't be scared of the noise because you're not there. You're only making money from there.
Absolutely.
Just make sure you, in my opinion, I encourage smaller units, good for short-term rentals. It will be a major touristic attraction. 100%.
Yeah,
of the hotels.
Based on Dubai's plan for 2040, it's actually one of the hotspots for touristic attractions.
100%.
That's going to be in Dubai
Islands. It's part of the expansion of the, if you want, landscape to increase more shorelines and beach kilometers.
100%.
So it's part of this, and of course we don't have enough public beach spaces. We only have Kite Beach, and also people go to Dubai Islands right now.
Exactly.
So they're working on developing it because we need more beach space. And Palm Jabal Ali and Jabal Ali side will have a bigger expansion. So this is part. So it will be a touristic attraction, shifting a lot of tourists over there and beach lovers and basically tourists.
I completely agree with you on this.
Exactly. So the
100%.
airplanes shouldn't annoy a lot of tourists that are living in one beds, touring around the city and not staying in their area. It's not a family home. That's why I encourage, although some agents have sold 3 and 4 and 5 beds in the area might disagree with me, but I think go for smaller units. The target should be short-term rentals, which is better.
100%. So how do we address the same problem in Palm Jebel Ali?
Palm Jebel Ali, the trajectory of the airplanes will not pass directly over Palm Jebel Ali, unlike Dubai Islands.
Okay.
And not even on Emaar South. It's adjacent, parallel to Emaar South. I think the planes will fly over Jebel Ali Port, which will stay as a logistics and industrial area.
Yes.
Jebel Ali Port expanding and becoming better and better.
That's the area between JBR and Palm Jebel Ali.
I think the planes should fly on this trajectory or left, but they will not fly above Palm Jebel Ali, if I'm not mistaken, and from the data and information I have.
Of course.
So it will not be applicable. Plus, the airport is slightly further away from Palm Jebel Ali, so the angle of the plane will be, if you want, the distance of the plane will already be elevated by then, because Dubai Island is very close to the airport by distance-wise. So the plane, I think, will be low. I even go to Dubai Islands now to enjoy the beach. I don't know if you have...
Same here. I take my dog there whenever I can.
You have a dog, so you have to be there.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
the only dog beach right now in Dubai.
Exactly, 100%.
So it is a touristic attraction now and for residents to go, and it will be more in the future. The planes, if you're trying to handle the objection of your investor, you cannot handle it. You just have to explain the truth for him. The planes will stay. The airport will not shut down. For investors that have heard this lie, it will not shut down. From my information, it's just that focus on something that is easy for short-term let, and based on every city in the world next to the airport, it's an excellent area for short-term letting, even if it's next to the airport, even if there's airplanes.
Yeah.
We go to the beach. Are you annoyed by the airplanes?
Not really.
I enjoy them, actually. I take videos.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's 100%. Cool to look at.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ryan, thank you so much for all the input and all the information that you have shared with us. I personally have learned a lot from you, and I'm pretty sure that the viewers will also learn a lot from all the information that you have shared with us. But before we end this episode, I would like to request from you, one is to give an advice to all the new brokers and real estate agents that are coming to Dubai and looking to start their career.
Right. So I think an advice I would give to a new broker, because I've heard a lot of advices from agents. Yes. So my advice to new brokers, although I have heard a lot of advices from other agents and top performing agents, some that encourage you to have a niche or specialize in something. I think before specializing, get your hands wet on the basics. So do rentals. Be an expert in one area, do rentals, because you cannot know what your niche is or what your specialty is until you get your hands wet, right? Until you understand the city. So go into a certain area, do rentals until you understand the area well, 3, 4, 5 months. Put some money in your pocket, especially if you don't have savings, because it's crucial. I'm trying to give you a practical advice, no philosophy, practical advice. Put some money in your pocket. The fastest way is rentals, and the fastest way to learn a city is doing rentals. Then shift to sales in that city. That's why I always focus on secondary market. It's the real estate. If you take the skill anywhere in the world, you can sell real estate. You can be a broker. And off-plan, you cannot take it anywhere, unfortunately. No one sells off-plan except a certain area of the plan like Australia. Exactly. You have to learn secondary to understand real estate. After you finished your year, then pick your niche. Then pick your specialty. You cannot enter a new industry and pick your niche. You don't know what you're good at until you get your hands wet with the basics. So that's it basically. Put some money in your pocket, do rentals, do sales in secondary. Then if you want to shift to off-plan, go for it. If you succeeded in off-plan, you want to focus on branded residence, excellent. Extensive research, read a lot, learn from the big players. I also learn, I sit with a lot of big brokers daily, and I'm here with Abdulrahman, learning, discussing. This is the way to grow when you start understanding the market. Sit with the right people, discuss, chit-chat, more conversation, read a lot. There's a very nice book which gives practical advice. Of course, there's a lot of self-help books, but a practical book is the essential. We should put the title of the book.
Sure, take your
The
time.
Essentials of Dubai Real Estate Market. It takes you back all the way from 1997 about how Dubai was built, what happened in 2006, 2008, the crash that happened in 2006, 2007, the crash that happened in 2008, and the build-up of Dubai until it reached COVID and afterwards. So if you're new to the market, go and buy this book. It will take you back to the history, which will add a lot of value to you when you're sitting with clients. If you know the history, you can project the future. So this is a very practical book. Read other self-help books. And if you are focusing on your own development, you can add more value to developing another person's plan.
100%. I love this piece of advice. And that's what I always tell people myself, is that Dubai is not going to be selling off plan for any much longer.
True.
Maximum another 5 to 10 years and the off-plan market is going to be gone. Then secondary is going to be the main. All around the world, secondary market is the main real estate market. So you need to understand, you need to know how to sell it, you need to know all the dimensions of selling such properties in order for you to guarantee a career in that.
True. To take your skill wherever you go in the world. Obviously, if you start here, you're not going to leave.
Yeah.
I know people that have been living here for 20 years,
way.
they call it home. I think you do as well.
I'm born and raised here. I'm not going anywhere.
So you call it home. You're not going to go anywhere, but it's a skill to learn. If you want to say you're a real estate broker, learn secondary. Because off-plan is like stocks. You understand money, you understand how it flows and the trajectory, so you can become a consultant for off-plan. It's similar to stocks. Real estate is secondary.
100%.
That's it, basically.
Okay,
that's my humble advice.
Oh, trust me, I'm taking it personally now. And for the second advice, I want you to advise investors that are from outside Dubai, let's say the US, the UK, and Asia and Australia. What's your advice to such investors looking to purchase a property in Dubai for investment purpose?
Right. So as we discussed before, for investors, do your due diligence, do your homework. We discussed the points before. Maybe Abdurrahman will edit them back here, not to go back at them. So understand the market, the history, who are the developers, what's the average price per square feet in a certain area, what is Dubai heading towards, what is the government focusing on, which areas are they injecting more money in. Yes. This is the due diligence. Second, don't be scared. Work with the right company, work with the right agent. Don't be, if you want, afraid of this oversupply and price increase. Quick tip, Dubai is growing a lot. Do not compare it to your city. If you're from London, do not compare Dubai to London. It's a stagnant city. The economy is stagnant. It's not going up. The economy in Dubai, actually, this is a very important thing to know. So an important point to know is that the UAE has been named the most economically stable country in the world. And it outgrew Germany and Singapore, for example. So a big economy, if you want, backs up a growing real estate market, plus the residents coming in, the tourists coming in. I see a lot of agents even on your podcast discussing these numbers, but they're very important. They're very important. Do not be afraid of the growing market. We are now at 3.8 million population. You know, 3 years ago, they projected for 2024 a 3 million population.
Yeah.
And we reached 3.8 by end of 2024. So 800,000 more than they projected. So they know what we're coming to, and we usually exceed the expectation.
Exactly.
3.8. What are we heading towards in 2040? We all know it, the 2040 vision.
We're looking
5.86 million.
I think we're going to surpass that.
Of course, we're going to surpass that. Some professionals believe we're going to reach 7 million.
Yeah.
Let's say 6 million. From 3.8 to 6 million, 2.2 million people coming in.
In 15 years.
In 15 years, 2.2 million. The average house in Dubai holds 2.5 people.
Exactly.
2.5 we call it because it's an average.
Yeah.
There's a 0.5.
Yeah.
It's not half a human. So 2.5, which means we need around 800,000 to 900,000 new units from now till 2040. Believe in the vision. We need the houses. Dubai land departments have strict regulations. I've seen it. I've worked with developers on plots. I know how it's tough to get the license to build. They have strict regulations. Believe in the vision. 900,000, 800,000 units, which we need, which is around 60,000 units every year. Till then, don't be afraid. Work with the right broker. Get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to tailor your plan.
Ryan, it's been a pleasure.
That's
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, brother.
I appreciate it.
I really enjoyed it.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you.